Hello, I've got lots to show you this week, lots of varied things. I've also made something out of the most beautiful fabric, if you can see it there. So I can't wait to share everything with you. My name is Carole, welcome to my sewing room. This is #Friday Sews, where I'm going to be talking about bits and bobs of sewing and things that I've been getting up to this week. This hashtag was of course started by the lovely Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. Just a place that we can report back on the end of a week, just to say what we've been buying, making and some ideas for the future, and just sharing a little bit of our lives with you. So I have bits and bobs, which is why I've sat myself down at a table today so I don't have to keep cutting the film and bending down and picking stuff up. So I have it all laid out in front of me. I've got to start with what I'm wearing. This is Simplicity 8556. Now I made this a couple of weeks ago and I referred to it as my chamois leather top because, well, even in the camera you can see its sheen. It's very artificial. The fabric is very artificial, but actually it's quite warm and I don't dislike it. It had that awful really bright white background. It's quite warm. I thought it was a double brush poly. I'm thinking it was more kind of microfiber. It's okay. I've been wearing it today and I've had an orange cardigan over the top as well. Funnily enough, I'm wearing it with a pair of jeans that I made. Oh, can't really show them. But do you remember I made a couple of weeks ago a pair of jeans that the fabric I bought was way too stretchy. And I said, oh, I don't know what I've made here. Awful pair of jeans. In actual fact, they are so comfortable and yet look like jeans. They're amazing. I wear them all the time. So when I say to you, oh, I don't like this or I don't like the feel of it, just ignore me because I end up still wearing them. And the things that I've said that about, I normally end up wearing far more than the other things. So just ignore me. Anyway, so that was Simplicity 8556, which is that top there, which has this back yoke and the pleat. Brilliant little pattern. Now, I have to draw the attention to this. So we were away on a holiday and we came back. Now, this is a fabric, a special exclusive to Beyond the Pink Door fabric. I've got a bit more of it here actually. It was a French terry, so it's been designed for the lovely Andrea from Beyond the Pink Door. And the minute I saw it, I pre-ordered it. And I know a lot of sewists and a lot of channels have already reported back on it. But typical, the minute I go away on holiday, after having it on order for a while, it came. So I know I'm probably last to sew it up because I know loads of people have sewed it up already. But it's one of these fabrics. The lovely Stephanie from Stephanie Farrell Focus always says she wants to get fabrics into her wardrobe, which I know what she means. This was such a wonderful fabric. I wanted to make it up into a garment straight away. So I think that's great when she says that. It describes exactly, we've got this beautiful fabric, but we need it in our wardrobe. We don't want to just look at it, we want to wear it. So I have to say I was a bit of a cliche and I think a lot of people have done the same, but I ended up making the Southbank Sweater by Nina Lee Patterns. Now, I made a dress out of this about February this year, and I turned it into a jumper in the end. I think I reported back on that a few weeks ago, so I just decided this time just to make the jumper. Now, I'm a huge fan of hembands. So I was going to put the hemband on the bottom, but you know what? It didn't look nice. Whether it was the length of it, I'm not sure. I just thought, no, I can't put hembands on everything. So I've left it off and actually it looks cleaner and smoother. So as you can see, the hemband went on and the hemband came off. So I'll just bring it a little bit nearer. So it's got, obviously I'll put the footage in as normal, but it's got this collar. Now I've got a short neck and it's just right for me. If I wanted to, I could always turn it over anyway, but it's just lovely, isn't it? This fabric, she did it in 4 colorways as well. It's called Funfetti. It's probably still on her website. But you know, beyond the pink door, definitely have a look. But I'm really pleased. It's got the knitted cuff bands. Now I will say why I a couple of weeks ago I said I really like them, and I'll just say why. Is I actually suffer from Raynaud's syndrome. You know, where your fingers can go white when you lose circulation, and one of the best things for that is to keep your wrists warm. It's nothing about keeping your body warm, it's about internally keeping warm, and keeping your wrists warm is one of those things. So that is why I like to be cozy around my wrist. So anyway, enough of the health, but I just love it. I just love it. So that was that, the Southbank sweater. Now also this week, tucked behind, I sewed up a Luto pattern. Now that is a pattern drawing system, and I know it's not for everybody, but I did put the video out. It was from their supplement 334, and it was actually this one here. I'll put a photo of me wearing it. So it's a pattern drawing system where you have to draw it all out yourself with all the measurements, and then you make it up. No instructions, never instructions, which is why I always keep to really simple things. So that is the article behind. Made out of a waffle knit. Again, I have a cuff band. Made out of a waffle knit. Perfect what I want it for, but I'm not a massive waffle knit fan, I've decided. It's too thin, too floppy. So that was that. Now, I said I was away last week. So the only sewing I did while I was away on holiday was actually on the plane to and fro. So we went to the Canary Islands, which it's nearly a 4-hour flight from London. So this is all I did, and I haven't even finished that. A cross stitch robin. I found this kit that I'd had a couple of years, but this, so I worked out this has taken me 6 hours. 6 hours, because I sewed non-stop on the plane, apart from eating. I sewed the whole time. You see, this is why I love sewing, because I could produce a wonderful dress in 6 hours. And what have I got here out of 6 hours work? I mean, it has its time and place, doesn't it? So I really need to finish this poor little robin. What I'm going to do with it, I don't know. But yeah, that was 6 hours work. Unbelievable. Now, I've also been doing a job this week, and I haven't finished it yet. This is my grandson's beaver outfit. As you can see, he has a lot of badges. And my daughter said to me, oh, he just needs a couple more badges sewn on. Can you do that, Mum? Yeah, sure, I said. Well, she'd been stocking them up. There were 6 badges. So I've still got another 4 to sew on here and there. And I think I'm going to have to try and go down the side. I mean, I do love doing this because it reminds me of, wow, sewing my own Brownie Guide badges on. Yeah, I used to sew my own badges on. And then my Girl Guide badges, and obviously my sons, my daughters. So I do like doing it, but yeah, there's not much room left on his thing. Oh, I will just say, we had Remembrance Sunday, last Sunday gone by. And we had Armistice Day on the Monday, but the Beaver Scouts are linked with the church, and one of the things that my grandson had to do was they marched from the church up to where we have a war memorial in our local town, and he was the flag bearer, and oh my goodness, I was so proud of him watching them come up with the band. So I might just put a picture of him in his uniform holding the flag, but it was marvellous to watch. But yeah, so I better get cracking and sew the rest of these on, because it's Beavers tomorrow. Before I went away, I had a little session of inventing something, didn't I? And I invented these beach pockets. Now, I'm sure they're probably out there anyway. But so these sun bed pockets, sun lounger pockets, will go under the towel either side and drop down. I want to report back, they were fantastic. In fact, I had to actually, the sunbeds we had were quite wide, so I had them on the widest thing there. But they have, you can see how well they've been used. Faux, but I was really pleased with them. Now, I will just say one thing though. the sunbeds we had a cushion on top. So these went under the cushion and then with our towel on top. So there was no problem with it slipping off or anything. I tested very quickly on a bed that didn't have the cushion, and it wasn't as good. It's fine, but because this is slippy, almost your bottom is kind of sitting on this and it's a bit slippy. So it's not as good, but I have to say I'm really pleased with them. And I just love the fact how I made it so it was nice and portable. So these now are going to go away for a fair few months before they'll ever get used again. I just wanted to report back. That was a win, a definite win. My channel hit 6,000 subscribers just before I went away, and I'm so excited. That was such a marvellous milestone to reach. So what I've done all the way along, from 3,000, I'm annoyed that I didn't start it earlier. I think you can see up on the wall there, the 3,000 was too high up. But so I've got pattern number 3,000 and I got a 4,000, 5,000. So I ordered 6,000. Now it depends on the company. I just kind of search for the round number, and it's been all sorts of different companies. But I was excited this time because 6,000, obviously it's getting to the more recent patterns. I managed to get New Look and uncut New Look 6,000 pattern. Quite a nice design. I thought I probably actually will make this one up. But when it came, look at the number. It's got obviously the display number on it. So it is pattern 6,000, as you can see there. But I was so gutted it didn't have 6,000 on the actual envelope, because what I keep intending to do is actually put them all up on the wall, the 3, 4, 5, 6,000. That's kind of spoilt it, hasn't it? But oh well, what can you do? Of course, a massive thank you goes out to everybody that subscribes. I'm just thrilled. I'm just thrilled that you spend time with me in my sewing room and you continue to enjoy what I do. I've got 2 fat quarter boxes to show you. Now one of them came just before I went away. So this was my monthly fat quarter subscription box that I get from my sewing box, which is based locally in Dorset. And I love to try and support local if I can. Now this was a beautiful set of fat quarters. Real, and I know we're not even in winter yet, but beautiful spring colours there, which actually would be lovely for a Christmas gift. The funny thing is they have included a pattern for an oven mitt. Now on my channel about a month ago, I actually made some oven mitts. I like the double ones, but this pattern is for the single one, so I'm definitely going to keep that without a doubt. But I love the way they include really nice instructions and the designed cord drawdown. So I think that could be a really nice present for somebody. Now whether I will do my pattern or this one, I'm not sure. Then when I was on holiday, they were doing a bit of an offer. Like they did a sort of a VIP week, and they were released a mystery box of fat quarters. So I actually received this today and I'm really, really pleased with it. It was, I think it was more or less half price. I can't remember how much it was, so I will look it up. But what's in it is it's just amazing. So I've got 3, if I hold them up, that's easy. 3 Christmas fat quarters have been included. And the thing about these is their beautiful quality. I've got, look at these little trims. I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but there's a a reindeer, a polar bear. Oh, I just absolutely, and something, oh, it's a snowman. I love those. Don't know what I'm going to do with them, but love them. And also 3 others, more kind of spring colours. That one there is lovely. It's got kind of gold. They've also included some patterns as well. Now because I get the subscription box, I've got this pattern here. That's to make a peg bag. They've got a Christmas stag table runner. Now I made a table runner from them before, but it was different. This is slightly yeah, slightly different. So that's really good. So I got 2 patterns, 6 fat quarters and some great trims. So I'm really pleased with that. That was quite a bargain. I must draw your attention to something. I was sat having breakfast and I hate TV these days, so I like to watch YouTube. And what popped up was a very old video from Viv Mom. Now I know we're all a massive fan of Viv Mom Sewing. She inspired so much of us in the beginning to really keep sewing. But one video popped up from 5 years ago, and I'm going to link that video down below, because in the first 2 minutes of that video, I remember how inspired I was by her and what she said. And I think even if you don't want to sew her patterns or anything like that, what she says in the first 2 minutes of that video is so true. It's all about stop trying to be perfect with your sewing. If you've taken the time to wear it, make it, then wear it. And honestly, if you're a beginner, if you're experienced, it's encouraging you to kind of take back and think, no, come on, no, our sewing isn't perfect. Nobody's sewing is perfect. So I had a chat with Viv and I just asked her if it'd be okay for me to link that video, and I will do. It's down below. So please, 2 minutes for your time. And it's what she said in that video was really inspired me. And funnily enough, I looked down the comments and my comments was there from 5 years ago. So I didn't have a channel then or anything like that, but it really turned a corner on my sewing, or that particular video. So here's a question for you. When you make something for yourself and you make something for others, do you not put as much effort into what you make for yourself? I wanted to make a little kind of, not leather, was it pleather pouch for somebody in the family, and I thought, well, I'd have a go because I've never embroidered on this leathery stuff before. So I had a go and made one up for myself. The colours I chose were horrible. The design was okay. The zip's horrible, but look at it. It's just, I just wanted to see if it would work, and it did. It embroidered really well on this stuff here, so I was really surprised. But I put no effort into choosing the 2 colours or the colour of the zip. What did I do inside? Oh, I chose quite a nice lining. But yeah, I did it music because the idea is I'm actually going to take it for when I go to orchestra. I play the oboe, not greatly, in a local orchestra, so I've got some bits and bobs and reeds and things like that, and actually it would be quite nice to have a little pouch, so which is why I did the music on there. But look at that, look at the way the end of the zip's done. Not really bothered. But then this was the finished article for the present. So much nicer, so much colour choices. I've even done where you've got the tabs on the end of the zip, so it opens nicer. Got a nice pink lining inside, and I've done embroidery. I didn't want anything too garish for whoever it is, but that's come out really nicely. I just wanted something subtle. So the pieces of pleather, I have only a certain size, so hence I had to always use 2 colours together. But I am really pleased with this. So the sizing was just the size of the bits of leather I had. There was a reason I had to buy some of this leather, and all will become clear on my video next week, which is the results of I Can Sew That video. Yeah, so the only way I could get this navy piece was to order a whole chunk of them, which led me to make up this. So yeah, this is going to be a present for someone. I'm going to fill it with chocolates, but you compare the quality of finishing between those 2. Are you the same as me? You don't really put much effort into things you make for yourself, but things you make for others, I'm always envious of. So what we've had embroidery, sewing on leather, we've had fabric, we've had a make, we've had Luto, wool. Would you believe I'm going to do some knitting? We're away this weekend, so I'm going to do some knitting. Now, I bought a magazine for my mum, and we were looking through it, and I came across this thing to make. So it's a garland of these little knitted hats. I'll put the picture in. knitted hats, and it's like an advent calendar, and then you would slot some chocolates or things like that in. I thought the boys, my grandsons, would love that. So the funny thing is, these little hats, I would say a good 5-6 years ago, there's a drinks company in the UK called Innocent Drinks, and for some reason, and I can't remember why, it was charity linked, but we all had to make little hats, knitted hats or crocheted hats, to go on the bottles in the supermarket. And it was fantastic because you would go into the supermarket and everybody was knitting these and sending them off, and you would see these bottles with these little hats on. It sounds crazy, I know, but I did a load of those, and my mum did as well. But I still have 2 left. So this is the kind of size I'm talking about, just a little bobble hat. So as you can see, it is exactly the same as this string with these hats. This one here, I couldn't get rid of that one. I did a Minnie Mouse one, and you know we're Disney crazy. So I've got these 2 left, but I'm not going to use those, but I just thought I'd show you. Now my lovely mum knits way better than me, so she's going to do a majority of them, but I thought I'd have a go as well because I'm away the weekend, and I've got a couple, a gold and a red. So the idea is, obviously we're going to need at least, well, 24, 25 to hang on the line, and if we manage to do loads and loads, then maybe my granddaughter, although she's a little young, we can do one for her as well. So I thought, instead of doing some sewing at the weekend, I'm going to take some knitting to do and try and knit some more of these little hats to make like an advent thing. So there we go, that's knitting as well. And I don't often knit. If I do, it's only something very small. So what will I be sewing up next week? Now, for a project for next week, I have to sew up this. Now, I haven't made this for a long time. Kwik Sew 4069. It's just a normal, well, it's very similar to that really, but it's kind of slimmer. So it's not so boxy, but I need to make one of those out of a piece of fabric. And this, I keep saying I want to make this. This is a New Look 6759, just a basic sweatshirt. And this is another of these fabrics that I really want in my wardrobe. I bought it quite a while ago now in the summer, and I really want to make a sweatshirt out of that because it's kind of sweatshirt time of year for us in the UK now. So that's what I'm going to be sewing. All that's left to say is, of course, the photos I will put at the end are of our holiday. So we had a wonderful week in Tenerife. We did a lot of walking and a lot of reading. I actually read 4 books, which was bliss, just sit and read. So that was fantastic. We're away this weekend in our holiday home. We won't be doing any walking. And the reason why is because on Monday, fresh back from my holiday, start of a new week, went for a run, and within the first mile I misjudged a path, had all the leaves on it, and then we had the wooden edge, and because all the leaves were on there, I went over on my ankle. Yeah, it was quite painful, and had to limp a mile home, but yeah, I've sprained my ankle, so it's getting better, but we won't be doing much walking at the weekend, so hence the knitting. So I hope you've had a fantastic week. I really missed everybody. I know I've been around and doing some videos, but seem to have missed just 1 week of Friday Sews, and I feel lost missing that. Thank you so much for your time. I know I might have gone on for so long, but I had lots to show you. Have an amazing weekend, lots of sewing, crafting, knitting, whatever, and I will see you all soon. And don't forget to check out the video next week if I can sew that. you.